Hello and welcome to another episode of the Made in Carroll Show. My name is Jason Stambaugh.
I'm Dennis Twig.
And the two of us are going to continue our journey here in Season 2 as we meet the entrepreneurs and families behind Carroll's craft wine, beer, and spirits boom.
And so we're here on a Thursday night before Christmas in the woods of Hampstead.
The backwoods, baby. The backwoods of Hampstead.
It's a hidden gem. It's great back here, and we're meeting Diane Hale of Galloping Goose.
Yeah. Let's go meet her. I think she's over here in the I think it's the rumpus room or party room or something. There she is. Diane, hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Pleasure to see
Wow.
you.
So traditionally we've walked in at first to a room typically filled with a bunch of equipment used to make spirits and beer and stuff, but we're in a different kind of room here. Where are we standing right now?
Well, this is the middle room. We have a
aptly called the middle room, which we're in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's in the middle. It's in the middle of the tasting room and the processing room. So this
Very
is the
cool.
middle room. This is where we entertain guests, and we rent this out on occasion for parties and small gatherings. If you come and drink wine on Sunday afternoon, you can pull up a table and serve a little cheese and sit here and enjoy.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look and see where some of this wine's made.
Okay, we make all the wine here at the farm.
Okay.
We grow all
Wow.
the grapes here. We grow between 80 and 100 tons of grapes a year.
Okay.
Most of that we ship north to processors. Some of it we sell here in Maryland.
Okay.
We process everything that we do. Our wine is all made here, bottled and labeled and everything in this room.
Awesome.
We have a lot of barrels. Most of our barrels are full, and we use that for our storage. I like French oak barrels because that has a nice mellow texture, especially for the Chardonnays, and after we use it for white wine, we take it for the red wine.
Yeah. So what kind of grapes do you grow? You said 80 to 100 tons. Like what kinds of grapes are you growing here?
The majority of the grapes are Petit Verdot and Cabernet Sauvignon. They're both Bordeaux grapes.
Okay.
And we also have been growing a great deal of Petit Verdot, which is another Bordeaux variety.
Okay.
We grow some hybrids. Now, if the vinifera doesn't make it, the hybrids always do, so that can pay our bills if nothing else happens.
So what grapes do you ship north? What are the most popular ones that you're exporting?
We ship a little bit of everything north.
Okay.
A lot of the Dole and Saval go north.
Okay.
The Chardonnay generally stays here, mostly in Delaware, actually.
Okay.
Mostly in Delaware. We, of course, use some here for ourselves. We use about 10 ton a year.
Okay, now 10 tons, how many bottles or how many nights of me enjoying a bottle, that sort of thing?
You can figure maybe 150 more or less gallons per ton.
Okay.
So that's sort of how you can figure
That's a
that
good
out.
bit of wine.
It's a good bit of wine. We use variable capacity tanks.
Okay.
And that's because we
That's more
do
comfortable.
everything in small lots.
Cool.
And we use the smaller tanks because we can better handle the way we process. We've been using barrels. Right now I'm getting ready to introduce a Cabernet and a Petit Verdot in bourbon barrels that you can see here and there.
Yeah, I
around.
noticed that. I was just in Kentucky about 2 years ago. I did the Bourbon Trail tour, so I noticed
Okay.
those barrels. So it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
we have a little bourbon wine coming up here. It tastes really good. I'm really happy with it. So
Very cool.
That's really good. These tanks are generally full of this and that.
Yeah.
And we store a lot of stuff in the barrels. I said we make things in small lots. We use this press over here.
Okay.
This is a small basket press, and that's because we make our lots in small
Got it.
small amounts. With this press, we don't get the bitter tannins from the seeds or the skins because we gently press it. It might
Got
take
it.
us all day to press out 3 ton, but
Wow.
we do it very slowly.
Got it. So how do other folks do pressing? Like how is this press different than other more standard
Most
wine
of the
press?
people do a horizontal bladder press, and
Okay.
that has an air or water bladder in the center and that spins.
Okay.
And I feel that it makes the skins twist, and when that does, it releases a bitter taste.
Got
to
it. Got it.
But they press the wine generally very, very dry. So the the must is very, very dry. We leave a lot of water in ours. The cows enjoy it, actually.
Okay.
So,
Cool. I love how kind of everything is like right. I mean, this is a really, really kind of a cool condensed setup. Now, how did you get into this? Did you just start at this level of scale, or did you have a smaller setup?
no,
Or where did you begin?
this is where we began.
Okay.
We
Went big.
decided what we needed. We decided what we needed to produce what we wanted. We found out that we could handle the smaller tanks because it's just my son and I that do this. We could handle the smaller tanks and a smaller press, so we do everything on a smaller scale.
Got
But
it.
we've also found that we can manipulate the wine or blend the wine or catch a problem before it, gets larger. So we do everything on a small scale.
So you keep the temperature at a certain level here, which is noticeable. And so what's your secret about? Do you have a high energy bill? How do you keep it so cool in here for the temperature control?
The temperature generally in here is around 40 degrees.
Okay.
The roof is a green roof, and we are in the ground except for maybe a foot all the way
Okay.
around,
Wow.
except for those doors.
Wow.
So the green roof, which there was a little engineering going into that, but the green roof is sedum and prickly pear cactus,
Oh.
and that it turns a beautiful, beautiful yellow, like
Yeah.
a school bus yellow in
That's
the
so-
spring, and then
because
red
we-
in the fall.
We came up here in the dark, and
Yeah.
this like the room is kind of built up like a lodge, and it's like great and rustic. And I had no clue I was walking underground into
Yeah,
this. That's
that's super
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us your operation here. We'd love though to taste some of this wine. So I'd love to taste some.
Let's move over to the
Lead
other room.
the way.
I'll be glad to show you.
As Made in Carroll listeners know, there are a lot of really cool things being produced right here in our community. Habitat for Humanity of Carroll County is our community's only builder of affordable workforce housing and provides a hand up, not a handout. Each Habitat homeowner earns their 0% interest mortgage through sweat equity and hard work. If you know someone who would benefit from their mission or you want to get more involved, please visit www.cchabitat.org. This season of the Made in Carroll Show is sponsored by the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber has promoted a sound economic environment for the local business community since 1924. By building relationships and forging personal connections, the Chamber creates a stronger business community. This past year, the Chamber hosted events like the Carroll County Public Safety Awards, the Outstanding Teacher Awards, the Small Business Awards, the Carroll Biz Challenge, and the Drug Expo. The Carroll County Chamber of Commerce exists to showcase what's truly made in Carroll. You can learn more about the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce by visiting them online at www.carrollcountychamber.org.
All right, Diane. Well, what are we tasting first?
Well, we're going to start with the Chardonnay. I really like this particular Chardonnay. We have 5 clones of Chardonnay.
What's a clone?
A clone is a different variety of the same grape.
Okay.
So they come in, I don't know, champagne clones.
Okay.
And then they all have numbers.
Okay. Very
like
cool.
97 and so forth.
Okay.
But they're different clones. Each clone has a different flavor. Now what we do is we take, I'll pull 3. We take the picker down. We pick
Okay.
everything with a machine because labor is very difficult for us. So we pick with a machine. We go down and we pick the rows, and we pick 5 different clones, and then it's field blended.
Okay.
So we bring it back, put it into French oak barrels to ferment. We take it out of the French oak barrels and we put it in stainless to finish.
Okay.
We do the primary fermentation and the malolactic fermentation in the French oak barrels.
Okay.
After that, we put it in the stainless to settle. So
Very
this
cool.
has a little bit of oak to it, but not a lot, and it has a bright flavor, and it's got to be one of the favorite wines. I can hardly keep it.
Wow, that's really good. It's a very clean.
There's nothing in there.
There's the real one.
mine.
Good luck with that one.
I already
Put
drank that one.
aside.
It's the low-cal variety.
That's right. Definitely getting a little bit of oak in that. So it is very fresh. I like that.
And it doesn't have a lot of oak. It just has a little bit of oak. I didn't like the really oaky Chardonnays. And then we put it in the barrel, and it was really kind of cool. So that's what we've been doing
Now,
ever
what's
since.
the alcohol percentage or content?
This is about 11 and a half.
Okay.
So this is what this is. And it's just a really nice, and of course it's grown down on the back 40, so literally on the back 40. And it's a real nice French style Chardonnay.
Just talking about the science of that 11.5%, when you went into this, do you say this is going to be about 11.5%, or do you do the process and take a test and figure out what it is afterwards? I have no clue.
Yeah.
Well, if you realize what the bricks are, and that's the measurement of sugar in the grapes, you can pretty well predict where your alcohol content's going to be.
Gotcha.
And since we ferment everything dry, we don't do stop fermentations or anything else. We ferment everything dry, meaning that the fermentation process eliminates all the sugars that are naturally occurring in the grapes.
Got it.
So that's a pretty good indicator of what alcohol content you're going to get.
Makes sense.
Now this is Proprietor's Claret. This is one of my favorite wines. We don't make it every year. It's an English style wine, English style table wine. It is mostly Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. Now, what makes it an English style? Explain it to me like I'm 5, So.
But you're allowed to drink.
Yeah, I'm allowed to drink. I'm
You want me to
32.
check your ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
I left my wallet in the car.
Well, a claret is a typical table wine.
Okay.
And that's the wine you hear people talking about in your English classics. They're always having claret with dinner. So it's a lighter wine. And it's a nice wine. It has a good body to it, but it is a table wine. It goes with most foods. And I really have enjoyed this wine. This is one of my favorites. So
It has a wonderful, like floral
bouquet.
Floral bouquet. I'm not a wine person. We talk about this every episode. We have no idea how to actually articulate what we're experiencing.
It's
but
good.
I try every time, like we're professional
it's good,
tasters.
It's okay. That's the whole point to this. You're supposed to drink what you like.
Okay.
You don't have to describe it. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah. So that's a really interesting taste. I haven't. I'm trying to put my finger on it.
It's good.
It's good. Yes.
That's like
yeah,
my simple vocabulary. I think I understand the table wine thing. It's like good without any like one overpowering taste. So it goes with a lot of stuff.
It goes with a lot of stuff. It's not a high acid wine. It's a more mellow wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she articulates it a lot better.
Yeah, we should just let her talk the whole time. We're not adding any value.
I think what you're tasting is the oak, and that's the French oak in it.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So, but I just had a cough drop, so I'm not sure. So moving right along.
All right.
The third wine that I have for you tonight is Petit Verdot.
Okay.
And this wine is a wine that is not usually varietal in Maryland.
Okay.
It is in Virginia, but it's generally used as a blending wine. It's a wine that has a lot of deep color to it, and it tends to give you a little bit of pepper in the back of the mouth. I find it goes really, really well with heavier foods and cheddar cheese. I served it with company. We had standing rib roast, and this is the wine I used. It's
That's
really
my favorite.
nice with
That's
charred meat. Oh, I have a silly story to tell you. The gentleman up in the neighborhood is not allowed to go take beer when he goes fishing with his wife.
Okay.
But he's
why is that? What happened?
It's just not classy.
Got it.
So you had to take wine.
Okay.
So he came down to find a wine that he could drink.
Fishing wine.
Fishing wine. So he found out that this wine goes really, really well with cracked pepper beef jerky. So
There we
he'll call
go.
me up and say, "Can I come down and get some jerky wine?" So this is that wine.
Fishing wine is
This is a
awesome.
fishing wine. So this is a really nice wine. It's a very solid wine. Most of our red wines are 5 years in the making, so we don't get them to market very early. They sit and they wait until it's time.
I think that's a great point. So the Claret and this one are about 5 years and
at least 5 years, and even the Chardonnay takes longer because we tend to let things travel naturally through its process, and these all take longer to make than a lot of people do. You can hurry it along, but we tend to just let it proceed as it wants to. We try to make a very nice, stable table wines. We enjoy dry red wines mostly, but we do make a couple white wines that I found to be very nice. We have a Vidal that's a very nice summer wine with a citrus finish, similar to a Sauvignon Blanc. But I mean, these wines are very solid and stable.
So, in addition to buying these here in the tasting room, where else can folks purchase or taste these wines?
We have a couple stores, but the only stores that we do have are along Route 30 from Manchester to Hampstead, and that's about it. So that's where it is. They're served at Manor Tavern, and that's the only restaurant at this point.
Got it.
So that's pretty much where the wines go. But I really think we have a very good product, and I'm very happy with it.
I'd highly recommend. That Petit Verdot is very, very good.
Nice
I really
wine.
enjoyed that one.
And this is just a small slice. I mean, I could see that you have plenty of varieties. It's just we only have so much time to go through.
Yeah, we could do 12 tastings.
We could do 12. This one's
Let's burn through your stock.
This one's really good too. This is
okay. We'll take a fourth. I like a bonus tasting.
We'll take a fourth. This is a bonus tasting here.
All right.
I asked for it.
This is Restless Babe.
Okay.
Restless Babe is a Chinon-style wine.
Okay.
A Chinon-style wine is mostly Cabernet Franc with 2 other Bordeaux varietals, and we use Cabernet Sauvignon and Petit Verdot in with the Cab Franc, but it's mostly Cab Franc. So, and that's just a more of a easy drinking wine.
Yeah.
You can have this with just about anything. It's just a very nice.
This is like crisp,
supple.
and that last one was like robust.
Yeah,
those are my
Crisp and
SAT,
robust.
SAT words about this. I hope that's accurate.
There you go. Well,
Very, very tasty.
if you notice, I just wanted to point out we have a horse on the label.
I was going to ask where the name came from. Yeah,
And
where the name come
The
from?
name is Galloping Goose. So I met my husband galloping horses at the racetrack at Pimlico.
Okay.
There's the galloping. We got married in a very short time. We bought this farm, and then like newlyweds do, we bought a racehorse. I mean, So his nickname was Goose.
Very cool.
So that's Galloping Goose.
Now, how'd the racehorse do? Did he win any races?
Well, we bought him because he was a bad actor.
Okay.
I couldn't afford to buy him because he had pedigree out. Oh my goodness, great pedigree. So we brought him back, retrained him. We raced him on the flat. We raced him over the jump, steeplechase, and those sort of things. Hooked him in harness and drove him, and he lived here for 29 years.
Oh my goodness.
And he's buried on Pine Mountain over there.
Oh.
So
He's still part of this farm.
That's
he's
right.
still
That's
here.
right. Yeah.
After all this time, he's still
That's
here.
a great story.
So.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you letting us taste these wines. They are, I can, tell that, you have a deep connection to the product and the process, and they really are very, very lovely. Appreciate you sharing them. But I know that you do a lot more here than just grow grapes and make wine. So, give us a sense of what else do you do, and how many acres do you have on this property? Give us a sense of what else do you have going on here at the farm.
Okay, well, the one thing I neglected to say, so I'm going to backpedal a little bit, is my son John has been starting making wine and taking over and moving more and more into the business, and he's doing an excellent job. I'm quite proud of him. So
Awesome.
he has some wines here that he's made on his own, and he's moving into the process. But this is a family farm. After my husband passed away, the boys came back to the farm. We make all of our living on this farm. We didn't have any other income. So we raise cattle and sheep, all grass-fed, and hay, and that's what we do besides the grapes.
Very cool.
And we have about, I don't know how many acres of grapes, but it's about 30,000 vines out there.
Wow.
So they kind of roll over the hills.
Well, talking about the farm here, I know you have a map over here that, in addition to the cattle and the sheep and everything, so give me a sense. I see we got some walking trails here. So talk about the walking trails you got going on here.
Well, the farm and the winery, we tend to be family friendly.
Okay.
We invite people to come out, enjoy a glass of wine, and take a walk. There's walking trails in the woods there, complete with trolls under the bridge and fairies' villages, and the Second Chance Forest and other strange things.
Yeah.
But we invite you to take your children and go for a walk, or hold hands and walk down. And
So how many miles or yards of? I can't get a sense here.
What's the measure?
Yeah, what's the measure?
It's more than 3K.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
It's a nice walk, and you can walk it as gently or as vigorous as you would like. There are some hills.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it friendly. A friend donated fishing rods. We do catch and release for children, and they fish down at the pond, and they always catch. If your son hasn't caught a fish, come here, he will catch a fish. You don't even have to put a worm on the line.
Yeah, so we got wine, we got cattle, we've got sheep, we've got walking trails, trolls, fishing ponds, lots of trolls.
All kinds of strange things.
And I know that you also have some other products here that you've jams and jellies and stuff like that.
Shall I?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll walk around.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. We used a very good barrel of Cabernet Sauvignon and made vinegar. And this is really good. You can almost drink the vinegar. It's very nice. And we have candles. We do these things right here at the farm. The county made us go to another manufacturer to have our jellies made. So we take the wine in our recipe to Jill's Jams and Jellies, and they make our jellies for us.
Very cool.
And so we do all this. The note cards are drawn by a local artist. And this was my husband's horse, and this is my horse. We have our events every second Saturday throughout the year. So there's always something going on second Saturdays. It involves food and wine, not other things. It's mostly food and wine, and we encourage people to come and relax. Let go of your cell phone, sit down and enjoy. So every second Saturday. And then we're going to start this winter, or this March, we'll be starting Frugal Fridays, which we're going to invite, we have a scope for teachers to come in, relax after a week of work, enjoy a little bit of wine, and relax with some gentle libation.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, a lot of awesome things going on here. You've done a phenomenal job. It really has. You can really tell that your passion. You can feel that throughout this space. And so, as I close every episode, Diane, we sincerely want to thank you for making something awesome right here in Carroll County, Maryland. Thank you for tuning in to the Made in Carroll show. This episode was hosted by me, Jason Stambaugh, and my good friend and colleague, Dennis Twigg. The audio, the video, really everything you experienced in this episode was produced by 127 Creative. As you can see, they really can create and communicate everything. You can learn more about the Made in Carroll show by visiting us online at madeincarroll.com. You can find our videos on Facebook and YouTube and listen to our podcast anywhere where podcasts are found. Thank you again to the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce and Habitat for Humanity of Carroll County for sponsoring today's episode. And finally, thank you to all of the backers of our Season 2 Kickstarter campaign. You guys know who you are. Thank you for helping us make something awesome right here in Carroll County, Maryland.